Okay, hello everyone, Firestorm here, bringing you a best of 7 between Ravenhelm and TraumaTized. Top right, we have the black TraumaTized as the GDF, and in the bottom left we have Ravenhelm playing as the blue Dynasty. Shout out, we are getting a paid match on this one to Tscachi, aka Mike Tyson, aka everything else under the sun, is going to put up $1 million for these players. So thank you to Tscachi. Wait, private message. $50. Okay, $50 it is. Thank you very much to Tscachi, bringing a little bit of funds to the players to have a good match. Just letting the players establish their bases early. Engineer looks like going down to the TPC, the Tempest Processing Center, in case anybody is new and is wondering. Generates a refund if it's been captured while it's still neutral, the same cost as the engineer cost. So you do actually get your investment back, and then the bonuses of power and an income, passive sort of income coming from that. Raven sending out Dynasty Guards and his engineer to his, what would you call it, eastern bottom side, that one anyway. And a couple of scouts going out, the field scouts, to make sure there's no shenanigans with any infantry harass onto his TPC as well. So it looks like they are going to, so far, capture their initial TPCs. Just let them establish their early game. Wish Ravenhelm was black. Was red. I don't know about this blue Dynasty stuff. I'm gonna have to have words with him. Okay, we're sitting on 3 rigs for Ravenhelm, 2 harvesters for TraumaTized. He does have his radar up in his base as well, and a war factory pumping out at least 1 harvester extra. And is jumping down his second barracks as well. So far it looks like both players get to grab all 3 of their TPCs on this map called Logging. Like this map, you have mixed opinions on who it favours. Should shout out that there is a patch coming on the 10th, which is about 3 or 4 days, depending where you are from. We're going to have some quality of life and some balance changes. However, they have not been listed to what exactly that will be. No Veti is confirmed, so no third faction for this patch, but we are very happy to be able to see a patch come through. Pod coming up. I'm going to go with the comms pod, which is the yellow. I could be wrong. Could be the right pod. Let's see which one pops up. Okay, yep, we've got the comms, so that's going to be comms officers and snipers over the right troopers and right vans. Second MCV coming out from TraumaTized as well. Ravenhelm's going to see that the MCV is doing a movement down. The Grenadiers will clear that out, but he does get that knowledge of where the MCV is going to be, which is going to be parking around this field here. Ravenhelm's already established quite a big setup already, up to 6 rigs. Still no doctrines, and we have the center doctrine coming from Trauma, which I believe is increased building time and decreased speed in production, and when you sell you get more credits back than if you didn't have that doctrine. Where's a GDF player when I need one to help me? Population, taking into account the rigs, we are sitting on 70 to 39. Looked like there was a call the guard just popped there as I was talking about that, which happened. Call the guard coming to reinforce the Havoc harass early. Grenadiers quite tanky, might jump into the bunker to heal. Not going to decide to head back to reinforcements. Right shields out, getting some good stuns onto some of the infantry. A lot of vehicles went down for Raven. The suppression from the right shield as well was quite helpful. We have got a heap of Havocs coming up to reinforce. Sitting on 11 rigs to 6 harvesters. Doctrines have been both started. We have the AoE effect from the top right one from Ravenhelm and the infantry dock from the middle, so getting a little bit more HP onto his infantry. We're sitting on 2 operatives and 1 line officer to 2, I think they're comms officers, I think. Yes, so 2 comms. Yep, 2 comms officers, going to give a good radius for the extra movement and attack speed for him, which will be good. Little raiding party heading up to the northern TPC. It probably is going to be able to knock down that TPC without any contestation. Let's have a look and see if we've got a Bastion is on the way. At least 2 MCVs currently. What's the plans? Security, maybe the 3rd one is out as well. TPC going down, but TraumaTized is going to have to leave a little bit up here in case he does do this northern flank. So we would have got the information that this is what has happened. A line officer is also made his way up, but it's probably a little bit out of sorts, not having anything to inspire. Let's see if Raven comes in and finds any priority targets. TraumaTized has left a force back in his base, and that's going to drive those Havocs away. Bring back his line officer down, and that's going to prompt TraumaTized to perhaps put a little attack in. It seems his extra damage dealers are currently out of place. Population has caught up with each other, so 109 to 104, but we are talking TraumaTized has also caught up 10 harvesters as well, so much more harvester focused player is TraumaTized. Doesn't just sit on a limited amount, definitely likes to have that eco credit flowing and expanding. May have had another call the guard pop out. Population jumped up to 150. I think it did. We got Army of Boars, Matchsticks, which I can't remember if they've been revealed yet, so no Shield Maidens. Oh yeah, we have 1 Shield Maiden and some drone ops, but still might be able to zerg that one down if the Matchsticks are in numbers. Voltaic tanks are also coming out. There's that 3rd MCV. I was wondering where it was. So all 3 plans will be active. We're at the just under 10-minute mark and sitting at 167 pulp to 145. Both doctrines for both players are going. Ravenhelm DYN much more down the middle, so a bit more HP involved with the vehicles. Matchsticks coming in from behind are going to try and take out that Shield Maiden to have a little bit more play, getting a heap of drones as well. with the remainder of the shots. All those matchsticks did go down though. TraumaTized EMPing and also having the population output as well, and a stream of reinforcements coming. It's going to be hard for Ravenhelm to get out of this one. Hunter tanks doing some good damage soaking. More vans coming up, but it probably needs more T3. Volk's getting some work done. Got a forward base getting produced as well, barracks up, so they can jump back in on that as well. So far holding with the static defense as well. We've got an artillery bombarding as well, but they are getting quite healed up by the infirmary as they shoot. Another maiden out is going to deny those matchsticks popping through a little bit more. Could go either way on this one. Population has slightly swapped again. Matchstick getting focused down by, the shield man getting focused down, probably going to knock out that artillery as well. Those healing bays are probably the saving grace in these battles. They're actually changing one to the economy one as well to generate some more extra credits. And looks like he is going to be able to hold. A little bit dicey there for a second, but I think he had those in production to pop down with his next wave of defense, and was able to push TraumaTized back. Not losing too many rigs, however, TraumaTized is leading with the extra harvester currently, and the fields are, 1, 2, 4 or 5, 6 rigs. Not being able to harvest any of the Tempest for being quite dry. Just need to try and find a new patch with those when now that he has a little bit of relief. Population's pretty close. Trebuchet's starting to come out. Data core has got a data pod link on there as well. Still got these rigs sitting and not really potentially going into a better spot. We've got this sort of bottom field and this northern field. This one does have the Tempest regeneration pod where this one doesn't, so getting a couple of those would be beneficial. So only mining, not one rig on the way up now. So he has decided to sell a ton of those rigs, popping down to 7, taking the funds. Condors out on the field. Good stun by one of the operatives there to deny the Condor bombardment, but they are back up now and dropping their payload. Matchsticks are probably not going to be too much more viable now that we have enough shield maidens to be able to pop out and take care of those quite easily. I think Raven is in a little bit of strife. A little idle rig down here, and there it goes, as we were talking about, a couple moving up to the field, so we'll have a little bit more income coming through. We've got a heap of T3 factories, but what is going to be the play to break through the Shield Maiden drones? Trebuchet bomb armada that W has done. Like to put in as note that there is no maulers. Another unit that would have just cleaned this game up well and truly earlier if they were in play. deciding not to play Maulers in this best of 7, I believe. Vetoes, our donation host has decided that there will be no junction or Alps in any 2v2 maps, and Cracking and River Temple was vetoed by the players. Hopefully there's enough maps if it does go to 7 to be able to finish this series off with whichever way it may go. Matchsticks might just try to find some damage away from those maidens. Spy drones coming in, grabbing a little bit more intel and seeing what Raven is up to. However, I think the economy is just not flowing through. We only got sitting on 110 population. A couple of comms officers there for TraumaTized, just posturing, building up everything he needs. Got the condors in hand. Also expanding on bottom right and up near his mercenary camp section. He's going to deny these rigs as well as production as well. This one hasn't got any replenish, so it's going to run out as well. So this is going to be the field of choice. This one has no replan. Home base has started gaining a little bit more, so we'll be able to transfer a couple rigs down there eventually to continue on. Raven has got some levelers and air coming out, but not really the air doctrine down the right hand side. He may transfer those middle ones over if he's going to try to continue to do full air. He's got some zappers coming out, but they're just not going to do too much damage against the infantry. It takes too many shots to get them down. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see a GG coming out from Ravenhelm for game number 1 any second now. More than double the population, almost 2/3 more. Maidens going to town on any of the air. The Doctrine never had the extra range, and there's the GG game number 1. Pretty close in. Credits gained considering a lot of Dynasty players usually double. Game number 1 going to TraumaTized. We'll be back with game number 2 in just a moment. Okay, going into game number 2. The map will be Altitude. TraumaTized being up a 1 game to Louvre. And also starting as the black GDF on the right hand side on the map Altitude versus the blue Ravenhelm Dynasty. Map pick is Altitude for this one. Let them do their initial builds. Okay, looks like we got a couple of field scouts heading towards Ravenhelm's side of his TPCs. Going to try and get some engineer snipes happening. Ravenhelm in turn is sending his dynasty guards up to... What do? They go up to try to protect? Got three and three, but they are a little bit closer together depending. They're starting to group up now. Engineer is doing a good run for it, so these dynasty guards should be able to let that one go through while they hold the line. Raven's going to be hoping that there isn't a field scout up here, which he is in luck, and he's got an engineer going to cap his back. Likewise for TraumaTized, however, has only got an engineer going down to capture his bottom TPC, still travelling down. And sent his own field scout to make sure there was no double din guard to shoot the engineer from the top of the cliff. Getting a good scout going through to see if there's any bureau or what the plan may be for Raven. Radar expansion coming out from TraumaTized. They're sitting on 4 rigs to 4 harvesters currently. 1 doctrine being the AoE effect for Havocs. Currently no doctrines yet from a TraumaTized. Pod out for the radar being the same pod as before, so we'll see some comms officers and perhaps snipers. Here's a little trivia for you. Once the buildings get down to this much damage taken, they actually aren't getting the bonus speed in production while they sit at that much HP. So not doing anything different without having a repair happening as well. Not a bad little exchange each around the bunker stage. Some reinforcements coming in for both. We've got an early shield maiden that is not going to do too much while Raven has no air, but it is out nonetheless. It is quite tanky, even though it got killed then. Focus fired. And TraumaTized pushing away that attack, keeping most of his units actually in play. Raven reconsolidating down, not having much of a front line in way of pillages or anything, but we'll be able to get a shot off and a retreat back. We're up to 8 rigs to 8 harvesters. Doctrines are still going in Ravenhelm's favour. No doctrines yet started by TraumaTized. Harvesters are waiting in line to deposit their payload. A radar is out. Bastion has been started. One, two, let's say four FAC radar build. You can see that the repairs are started, which will mean that they will actually produce, but stopping the repairs while upgrading to tier 3 as they're not producing units. Don't think it gives any bonus to the upgrade. Likely see more Voltaic tanks coming out. Power plants are all upgrading as well. This one is producing something different, probably MLRRs or bores. Knocking off some rigs for free. Might focus down the radar, get a tech snipe here. Looks like he's going to be able to get enough damage in to kill that radar and the pod that was in it and get away and actually still have a few units off. TraumaTized may end up cancelling these extra ones depending how he's feeling on his economy. Going to move his MCV. Looks like he's going to go up and start an expansion base, possibly up in the top right. 11 rigs, 9 harvesters. Doctrines are now both coming out for both players. Raven is almost on Doctrine 6 on the left side, which will mean he will generate money based off his plans. So he might have what we used to call unlimited eco, but it just trickles in. At least it's better than nothing. Time for this rig to move on to better pastures. Bowls, Voltaics, Pillages, TraumaTized getting in his splits. It's going to be a big engagement. Getting some good crushes with those balls in his face. still quite healthy, might be able to come up and do a little bit of a ras on some of the hunter tanks. Still has Ravenhelm in slightly in the lead with the population count, and the assault gunners getting some extra damage on as well. It did clear out a lot of army each, a lot of tech went down, a lot of production, a lot of like tanks and stuff like that. We double the population for Raven currently, but most of that's going to be tied up in a lot of the rigs as well. He's going to try and press his advantage currently, but is going to get knocked back straight up and reconsolidate. Vans will come out to keep some of these units healthy. Just not a lot of frontline. I've got a fair bit of decent infantry, with 3 operatives as well, and we've got 1 sniper, so he's probably going to get a comms officer coming out pretty well. All that battle would have generated a lot of intel, but not doing maulers. He's going to keep looking at shield maidens and condors and DCUs maybe down the track to keep this balance as best, or at least as the most entertaining as we can for the matches. I would still move this rig if I was him, if I had the macro ability. Getting good vision from these dragonflies. If anyone's new, these are probably Dynasty's biggest vision to see what is happening. Here's Raven's view. You can sort of see what he's looking at here. That helps a lot to close the gap and not go into a big GDF trap as much. We have a Sky Grain coming out over on the Traumatized side as well. We'll see what shenanigans he may come up with this. Might be able to knock down this MCV while the units are just going to go and get into a better plant. He's going to use the salvage center power plant and pop down some static defense that has been pre-built. Not a bad hit coming in from the airstrike. Raven feeling like he's able to close this out. Not a very good roll there. Tempest missile coming down. I think he's going to be able to push through. Definitely taking out these 2 tech unit structures as well, and call the GG for Raven. That's a little bit more what it looks like with the credits gained than game number 1. GG to Raven, evening up the series, 1 game all. And we'll be back with game number 3 very soon. Okay, game number 3. 1 game each. We're moving into Oasis as the map. And we have Traumatized in the top left as the black GDF. And Raven sticking as the blue Dynasty in the bottom right. Very tough map for Dynasty. Very GDF favoured this particular patch. May see some kind of sneaky play come out and take advantage of early all-in perhaps. I don't think Raven's actually beaten Traumatized on this particular map in a full-on macro game. We'll have to see how this one plays out. Got myself another fresh liquid gold. Oh, just fix that engineer in time not to go down and try and double cap something. Early pillager coming out to try and put on some pressure and some kills onto the more expensive field scouts, but also the more damaging field scouts compared to dynasty guards. So a two for two, but with the pillager investment as well, it's going to deny a little bit early eco. Going to grab, both players are going to grab their TPCs with just the minor harassers coming in from each, being protective and making sure that they get it. Radar has come down, but it's not going to be in time to get a riot trooper out in time to get a stun, probably before the denial. You probably could do focus fire and hit both at the same time on a different angle there. The 12 HP field scout's going to be able to go in and heal up and get a bit more information when something comes up to deal with that. There's the riot trooper coming out just now at 3-minute 11 mark, so that pillager owns the field for that first minute or two when it comes out, and does get its objective done, at least on this one, and possibly will get away before this riot trooper puts a stun down on it. An extra one coming down that usually clears off the supporting infantry. So not bad from Raven, getting his objective done and drawing out 2 early riot troopers, which will take away from other intel preparations like a pod or data calls and things like that. So it can go both ways. But didn't delay it too much. We do have the pod on the way. We'll see if there's any mix-up, whether it's going to be the right pod or if we're going to see the comms officer and sniper pod any second now. Okay, going to do the comms and sniper. Opting to make Ravenhelm suffer on Oasis as much as he can. We are up to 8 rigs at 5 minutes, 6 harvesters, so both going pretty decent on their economy early. Oh, getting into that bunker was very lucky in time. Everything feels good until this patch runs out for Dynasty, and then you got to start transferring. Then you get the money lull just as you usually do your Bastion and your tech upgrades, and things start to stall.
Does Raven have a rig on Trauma expansion?
No expansion. doing the hopscotch up with his power plants, and we'll just expand. Generally, Raven usually puts a rig up around this field, but must have thought the fight was there a little bit earlier. He's got a lot of armies sitting idle while they're both poking at each other. That is not a very good engagement there for Raven.
I mean, he placed a sneaky rig on the bottom left.
Good spot. Yeah, you are right.
I think
thought
he
you meant
often
like,
does it.
yeah, a little
It's
sneaky
so
rig.
fucking risky.
Yeah, I think Raven took a bit of a bad fight there, with a lot of his forces still sort of compiling. Not bad pillager hits. Might be able to get one or two more volleys, and probably have to let that one go. Does deny, losing that rig down the hill rather than consolidating back up on the hill. It's going to start hurting a bit very soon, as these four are going to mine out this little section. This is going to be fantastic for Raven, having that little one in the back there. 8 rigs, 8 harvesters. Doctrine's going down for both players as well. Raven going more of the middle doctrine, so trying to keep his units a little bit more healthy with veterancy and HP for the infantry. And as it moves down, if he goes down further down the middle, a bit more HP and tankiness for the Dynasty units. Sitting on 2 machinists and 1 operative, to 1 sniper, 1 comms officer. Population only slightly in front for Raven, considering that rigs are a lot of population in the mix. Got multiple MCVs out, and we do have Bastion is completed. Upgrades coming onto the power plants, and 2 factories turning into the T3 to see. It's pretty successful with the balls last game, so maybe might see some balls. Doesn't look like Trauma's gone down and reached the silence kind of doctrine just as yet, so might get a little bit of a play on them if he can get them out in time. And his 3rd MCV is hitting the field too now, which will turn that Marshall plan on for the bonuses for his units. Unfortunately, you don't get to see that extra plan on the display yet.
I think you can see it on regular unit, because it does not affect the MCV, but it should affect like any attacking unit.
Their security plan, logistics.
Sorry, maybe I'm wrong.
No, it was a good thought. Maybe he hasn't actually put it on. Maybe he's missed that, because usually you see a big green envelope all popping up all over everything as well.
We can see if he uses overcharge on the vaults.
Yes, that might prompt him a little bit. There's the balls coming out as well. He's keeping his vision with a couple of the dragonflies. Radar upgrade coming as well. 11 rigs. It's going to need a good engagement. Like, one mistake and it's going to be... Oh, we've got 3 sneaky rigs coming down to this bottom left field. Even losing them, they've probably paid for themselves and some. Taking that away from Trauma's expansions. Trauma's economy down there. Move those couple of rigs that were probably down on this bottom field here. And just starting to saturate that top one as well. Where's this fight going to come? Army's just posturing, trying to get into the spot that's going to hurt the most. Looks like Raven has got himself up on top of this hill. where TraumaTized may move on up. Raven slightly in front with a population. A couple of those pops are going to be the rigs. He's going to send a scout up, see what's going on up at the top. It's going to give Raven a little bit of time if he is going to commit to try and get a bit of his own conclave happening, which is... Oh, good mine hits there as well from Raven. Probably dropping that with the airfield over here. And has activated the dynamo, so that Marshall plan is on. EMP is going to be very brutal. But that missile in turn actually done some really big damage. If we can just find a little bit of AoE damage with these flamers, I think this battle actually went really well for Raven. Even against the AoE, that those balls still done some very good damage. Double the population and some. Operatives are all up for Raven. Probably going to press his advantage here as best as he can. He's got some scouts and a RAS coming down into his bottom base, an airfield possibly. They are very low HP, but might be able to snipe it off before the laser turret gets up. And Raven is going to keep on trying to press this advantage. Good ball roll. I think these rigs have been the saviour for this game. Getting that extra economy coming through from just below the expansion of Trauma. If he looks back on this game later, I don't think he's going to let this happen again with those extra rigs taking the economy down there. Troops are going to have to get some good work done here. I think Raven's actually going to pull out a win on a very favoured GDF map if he can maintain this destruction. Salvage vans keeping the units healthy, creeping up. Didn't even put any additional towers down to hull. Going to grab the MCV. And I think with the population being on 12 to 143, Raven's going to move up and take game number 3. What is this? What is this? Huh? Look at this guy. You think you're going to save the game? Yeah, you're putting them at the back of the map going misclick. I know you are. I know he's going to pop a few extra out. He's going to see if he control Raven a little bit. 5, 6 or so molars. I've got levelers coming out as well. The money dock has been completed, and that's my standard doctrine build as well. Not going down the air side. GG to Raven on the map Oasis. Taking game number 3. We'll be back with game number 4 in just a sec.
Hello, guys.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good, doing good. How about yourself?
Going well. I didn't have it on record as I said g'day to you before, but welcome. Welcome to chuck in some little tips here and there if you spot anything during this match. I've had Swansong and Yeet talking, I believe. Let me bring it all up. Yep. And Marz. It was Marz. Okay, left hand side, the blue Dynasty of Ravenhelm versus the black GDF of TraumaTized. We are, what was the score? 2 games to Ravenhelm and a 1 to TraumaTized in this best of 7. Tscachi has put up a $50 million. Thank you very much to the winner. We'll see how this one plays out.
This map
Ravenhelm's.
grew on me. I used to hate it.
You do like this
Sorry.
map?
I used to hate this map, but it grew on me. Maybe from all the show matches on this map.
Well, Raven isn't one to use his MCV to move. He usually likes to do more creep and consolidate his base more as one and just defend single rigs up and about rather than trying to get a double split. With the bases, we'll see if Raven expands his next power plant and wall factory down and saturates here, or if he thinks that TraumaTized knows all about that and will in fact mind game to something different.
He's gonna get his engineer snipes.
Oh, coming back. Right. Critical moment, not grabbing that extra bunker in time before this field scout's going to arrive in time. Very close though. And I don't think it's going to yeah, it does escape just. So there we are. GDF does secure that middle TPC. Raven does these standard stock creep build down. He's not very rig heavy on empty types. He's much more unit orientated, a quicker army early rather than a much macro behind. Radar's just popping up pre 3 minutes as per usual. Seeing if there was a pod going to get started. What's his intel? 15. I think he needs 20, doesn't he?
No, he needs 10 for the pod.
10
for the specialist.
10 for the pod, so he could do that. He might be deciding if he's going to want to go the right medics route. More often than not, he has been doing it the operatives. Raven generally gets a quick 8 rigs for this map, not many more than that. Has got his plans on, no doctrines coming out just yet.
He's preempting the pillager to the top right.
With a, yeah, right trooper for a quick stun. No pillager in sight, however.
Yeah, I
We
believe
do see
Raven
the bureau.
adjusted to...
Raven's adjusted
Because
to... Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, last time TraumaTized got him with the EMP in the tower, so he's going with infantry and havocs for the denial rather than going for an early pillager.
Yeah. He's going to stick with his comms and sniper pod and shield maidens in case there was going to be some matchsticks. Raven has cleared out the middle TPC and going to grab that right trooper that didn't get to do his normal stun. Grenadier and right trooper, working his way around the top TPC towards Raven as well. Might be able to at least pop a few little shots on the TPC. We'll see if Raven wants to go up and defend that attack while he does have that bunker, but it's going to get cleared out by the Grenadier quite easily. He is going to retreat, come back, so not going to press the advantage. He's going to come in and try to protect that TPC. Going to focus the Grenadier. Won't be enough damage on hand, getting both for free. And there is an engineer who's going to plonk a bunker down and just sit there until he sees that that army has moved away. Cleared the bunker, so might be able to still get a snipe on that TPC with that engineer up in the bunker on the top bridge. Population 61 to 42, 7 rigs, 6 harvesters. Both players have started doctrines. Bastion is just starting to come out. We do see that there is 2 operatives, 1 line officer to 1 comms officer on the GDF side respective. TraumaTized doing a small retreat, is going to lose a few units to the Havocs on retreat. I think Trauma will not go up that hill. No, I didn't think he would. Not going to go up onto that vision problem. We're sitting on those 8 rigs. I don't think we're going to see too many more for quite a while unless he expands himself. He's starting to move his natural rigs from the starting Tempest Fields up to the northern, and he's going to just keep his army in that middle and protect those rigs. Got a Havoc out on the field as well. Mine's going down. He did jump out another rig during that time. He's got his MCVs, Bastions out. He's got upgraded war factories. Trauma has not risked that engineer going for that snipe up top as of yet. Havoc's giving a little bit of vision up that hill, seeing that the army is out of position for that attack, and happy to draw that army back down, let his economy flourish while those T3 units pop out. We have a Voltic tank, 3 MCVs out, so we got all plans activated now. Call the guard just popped out. I'm going to say he's probably going to stick with the bowls, as they have been quite useful in this particular series. Data core is sitting at the back.
TraumaTized should take a fight.
And should make some maulers, and he is.
He's doing maulers. Oh yes.
I've seen, yeah.
Couple of maulers coming out.
Oh, to be entirely fair, I mean, they're busted, but he doesn't have any AoE to deal with. Or like strong cannon damage to deal with balls. So he'll need maulers to survive that.
I don't think he's going to turn the game into a mauler maiden match on this one. I think he'll keep him at a fun level. Yeah, starting to come out though, so...
Raven is attacking from the south.
Good spot. He's going to go straight for this radar. Knock out that tech. Yeah, the data core is still up, so maulers will still be able to come out. He does have his comms officer still out on the field as well.
But that would delay the shield maidens. Although he's not going air, but
Yeah, not
usually
major air,
people
is it?
build maidens.
Just a couple
TraumaTized
for...
gonna lose because he's just too passive.
Yeah, he's not generally a passive player, so he must have felt that there was a part of the game that made him feel like to sit back and defend on a hill. And Raven has found his little secret entries into the base and get some snipes on. Although there is quite a lot of drones. Oh, something blew up.
Fine.
A hunter, but also doing damage onto a ton of those units as well. Get these balls in. I think that battle went very well for Raven. Still has balls in play up front. Going to be able to pick off a couple of harvesters as well. The only sort of thing that may happen now is if these maulers just start replicating and get to a uncontrollable state.
I don't know if Jammer would have helped, but he didn't have enough money for the Jammer.
Yeah, too many.
Because it doesn't stop the balls.
Yeah, too many other. Yeah, the EMP doesn't do those balls, but there's a doctrine that does, right, with the drones. Getting some.
I noticed he rarely goes to the silence doctrine.
Yeah, the silence doctrine. That's the one I was thinking of. Might have to start looking at it if the balls are wreaking havoc on Trauma the last couple of games. EMP has gone down. Just not enough damage to clear out a lot of that front line. And the Inspire came through and let the damage retaliation come back. And GG to Raven, taking game number 4. Going up to match point. So 3 games to Raven, 1 game to Trauma. We'll go on pause until the next game starts. Okay, game number 5. Looks like we're going in on the map Bridges Out. Ravenhelm up 3 games to 1. So match point for Raven. TraumaTized has picked the Bridges Out. And he is starting, TraumaTized is starting as the black GDF in the top right. And the blue Ravenhelm as the Dynasty in the bottom left. Yeah, very good adjustments. We were just talking off record. Raven not losing his early engineers or early pillagers to the right trooper stuns that has been protecting TraumaTized in early games. That's the good thing with mind adjustments and paying attention and playing the players sometimes. Thank you again to Tscachi, aka Mike Tyson, for putting up a little bit of money for this show match. He also wishes to get a tournament happening where he would like to put up a few extra dollars once we get our patch drop nice and early and see how things are looking. I can't agree with him anymore. I think the new patch is going to bring a little bit more life and hopefully a little bit more balance where we don't have to veto so many units just to play some customs. Okay, so no early pillagers. We've got 2 of the rigs going down. 2 rigs. Early infantry going across the middle bridge. Not sure if it's going to get up to that engineer in time. Just a little bit off on that one. Okay, so both players have been able to secure both their TPCs. Raven's getting a big scout through, not seeing anything probably out of the ordinary. Pillager's likely going to come up and do a little bit of harass onto this TPC, perhaps secure the bridge and then send an engineer in turn to capture that TPC. More rigs coming out. We're up to 6 rigs to 5 harvesters. Bureau has come out as well. And no pod has been started. We are seeing more barracks popping currently. Nope, cancelled. And went to the air control tower. EMP did get a hit onto that pillager. Might slow down the TPC kill. Tempest processing plant, but those infantry will pepper away at that. And it does look like it does take 10 damage along with that damage, with that stun. In turn, reinforcements are on the way up as well. Looks like Call the Guard has probably been popped. We're sitting on a line officer and an operative. And still no uplink pod from TraumaTized as of yet. Feel like Trauma's a little bit out of sorts currently without that pod or a... Well, there's the data core, so it has saved up for that with his intel, but he's still floating on AT intel as well.
Yeah, I assume straight maulers this time.
Straight to maulers. Get him out a bit
It
earlier.
looks like it.
Still got drone ops popping out of the data core's coming up right now, so just under 80 intel. We'll see if that pops straight down and see a little bit earlier maulers.
He might be going condors with the pods. being pushed at once. Yep, he started the Tempest Mod. He might be going Condors.
Condors. Yeah, well, they can do some good damage. Raven is already pressing up the left-hand side up towards the expansion. Gonna pop off a TPC early. We are going to see TraumaTized get in position to defend. Also see balls, so we've got tier 3 out, we've got Bastion, we've got upgrades, we've got the Tempest power plant overload, pulling those things out a little bit quicker, and we do see Maulers actually coming up behind this army to reinforce. I think now's the time for Raven to get in there before those. Oh, let's get quite a few. Those draw maulers are starting to build up. Reinforcements are on the way up for Ravenhelm as well. Big hit from the ball.
There it is.
Mauler's still not trying to, not getting enough damage onto those balls in time.
Yes, trips.
Trebs are out.
Part of the risk of going high tier units versus GDF is that when you lose an engagement, they gain like 200 intel per fight. So the next one's gonna be much harder for Raven.
Yeah. Even losing the army without it being a decisive battle, that army is getting replenished right now. And I was just having a quick look around. Hasn't got any major mining fields. He's got 2 in that middle patch. Got nothing on the top left, nothing on the bottom right. That 4 rigs are mining basically crumbs. Middle fields run out. So he's going to have to get a little bit more rig movement happening to keep that economy coming.
TraumaTized is almost floating credit because he's only building trips with credit, and the rest I believe are intel units.
Raven's up to 13 rigs and has done that movement as suggested, replenishing both bottom right and top left now. Still has the 4 half rigs just at main base, which probably aren't getting too much value. However, those harvesters are a little bit caught out on the bottom right hand side, coming down from TraumaTized's main base and just getting zonked.
TraumaTized scouted the north expansion.
Yeah, he's going to pop off a couple of those rigs. Wonder if that means Raven will go straight up to main. No, it looks like he's going to try and meet it a little bit more head on up the bridge side. See where it ends up going. Maybe Trauma was expecting him to come up just after that attack and he would come back and block off that part. Raven's heading up around on my map. but Raven has got, sorry, Trauma has got that high ground and sort of conclave all happening. And those trebs are going to do some good damage. Shield Maiden's EMP taking out quite a fair bit. Just not enough space to get any kind of line for Raven on that right. Still has some decent, like a decent strength army, like still has population lead, but every time you do a fight, it's just replenishing those next intels to come out. We got condors popping up onto the air pads as well, so they do not want to catch that army too clumped together on the skinny little choke point sections that you have to try and push through as well. Those condors get some very good value.
He needs to pivot to air. It's too late for him to try land units again. That's Raven, I mean.
Yeah, Raven hasn't gone down the air, the right hand side air dock. Has got only like what 2 air pads out, so he's going to have to do a massive investment to swap over to the air. He's got scouts. Looks like he's still sticking with his balls and vaults. A lot of vans. So if he can keep them creeping, maybe he's built up some static defense towers behind. He does have some levelers that are going to probably focus on those trebs once they get stationary. Might end up doing a bit of a base creep just to get a bit of vision and move up.
Left side.
Commando, where's he gonna go? He's heading up towards the top left hand side. Don't get run over. Whoops.
Oh, tragic. Condors, oh god.
Get decimated. Not being able to push through that Treb and Arty Fire and the dronies, EMPs pushing Raven back. It's going to be a really big uphill battle now.
And the Tempest is mostly done in the map now.
Yeah, it's where it sort of cripples the dynasty's continuation of army supply without I mean, he hasn't even got down to his left hand side 6 yet.
Noticeably. Yep, just now popped. Logistics 6.
It'll help with a little bit of economy, but yeah, it's never going to keep up with the intel loop. Jeez, those spy drones could actually tank some hits too. Yeah, well, props to Raven. I mean, he's been the aggressor. He's been trying to get the fights happening. But yeah, there's just some sections on this map that are very hard to push through.
Especially on this map, the GDF settled in, it's very hard to dislodge them with the land unit. You really need...
yeah, there's a couple of builds that
right.
people will say that Dynasty is more favoured, with the matchsticks having a lot more water to hide behind and come in at the right angles. Cough, cough, Colburn. The vision range is going to be beautiful for TraumaTized now to see everything that's coming and be in position for it. Condors are out, so I think Trauma's just going to be able to find a big opening when those air units are not in position and just take out that army and probably end up just GGing this game.
Should really take these TPCs though. He doesn't have a single one. 0 against 3.
It's not showing.
It looks like Raven has sold his middle doctrines and is creeping down that right hand side now to get that extra range and vision for his air units. So reactive doctrine changes. Oh, he's going to find that bridge.
No, but he didn't get the bridge.
Oh, that could have been a pretty good clip.
Trauma really likes anti-air. I don't know why he does not make Peacekeeper.
Oh, he's got a million shield maidens about to come, doesn't he?
I think you cannot rely only on the shield maiden.
Oh,
Something quick.
Condor cop and getting 10 or so machine gunners.
I think he.
I'd give up on this 6 months.
He didn't kill the bridge. He would have killed the bridge. He would have won, but he didn't kill the bridge.
Yeah. That's pretty decent airstrike.
He needs to move his trebs that he has just sitting there.
Yeah, I think his Trauma's throwing away his units a little bit too easily here. Condors are getting some work done though.
Yeah, he has too much intel.
The super weapon is 1 minute away from firing.
Trauma really loves his counters. Is it costing 40 intel?
Oh. Yep. And 22 cloak.
these condors are really a mistake.
Yeah, those condors didn't get enough work done there. I think
I mean, they could have
WS
finished
is
Raven's entire base, but
yeah.
TraumaTized got fixated on this expansion. I believe he should have just abandoned this and went for his
I
base.
mean, he wants to defend it, and it's understandable, but oh shit. But why would you make condors like two condor when your opponent has like that rat of flies?
They can still deal a lot of damage.
I think trying to fight into the vision, and when this super weapon comes down, it's just gonna creep away at Raven a bit too much. Just not enough Tempest to recover.
Yeah, I'd like to see him actually bomb rigs and buildings with the condors instead of units.
Yeah, it probably could just definitely just go around and just snipe all the T3 facts airfields with full vision. I think this is got to be close for Raven to GG in.
But he held really long.
Admirable effort.
Yeah, I think this one is gonna get called. Yeah. And GG to a TraumaTized, taking, what game was that? Game number 5.
5, that's 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2. Leave the recording on if you want to talk about that match and what we see. Running out of tempers as per usual. Choky points. Super weapon being extremely effective with that vision. Didn't even need a lot of aggressive sort of push from GDF at all. Just was able to sort of mitigate. And I thought Raven was winning well and truly early. And it came back and got on through on that particular match. Still, it's now going to be a Ravens map pick. For those that weren't here earlier, our donator vetoed the 2v2 maps. And then also the players vetoed Cracking and the skinny map. What is that? River Temple. Not leaving a lot in the map pool, but Road to Ruin is here. And if Raven's able to find a way to knock him out on this one, he will take the series. I'm not sure what map's left off the top of my head if TraumaTized does deflect this attack. But we'll figure it out. waiting for TraumaTized to get in. I'm not sure if he's doing any talking or not. While they get in, I shall go grab myself another beverage. Are you recording it? Okay. Here we go. Game number 6, isn't it? Oh, we got a colour change. TraumaTized taking the pink GDF in the top right hand, and the blue Ravenhelm is Dynasty.
I don't like this map.
It's your favourite map, is it? You love it.
Even as Dynasty, I just don't like it.
Yeah. I think when you're playing this map in ranked, you're only usually taking on other Dynasty, so it's a lot harder match up.
What's wrong with this map, Marz?
It's like, if you don't just be super aggressive, it becomes like a weird map on like goes to 20-30 minutes, or so it's either 3 minutes or 20 minutes game, but mostly 3 minutes games.
So, perfect map.
I got 4 Dingard, Pillager, Engineer. Raven is definitely trying to press the Dynasty early game, or super early game advantage with that Pillager to kite in
Yeah,
some.
he went very heavy on guards. Like 4 guards is really a big investment.
He's anticipating the AMB. Yep, which it's coming right now.
Yeah, so what's that, one factory radar? Sorry, one refinery radar, getting that EMP out, and those extra Dingards to try to at least mitigate. We've got Grenadiers coming out as well, so double Pillager. Raven's going for it. No, if it gets with that double Pillager though. Oh, he's done so much investment into this attack, but he's just going to kite that Engineer in. I wonder if it's just making... we got a pod coming out. It's got to be the right pod, right? No, it's powered it down. Or Raven not pulling the trigger. Could have maybe went base and killed that tech. Said it's just dancing around, letting Trauma back into the game, taking the long route back to base. I'm not sure about this one. It does clear out the TPC, but I guess Traumatized had enough on the field to make it a threat to have those double pillagers both stunned, and then the Grenadiers to come in and take out the infantry was just not worth the risk currently. Raven may have expected that. You know, it's still a pretty heavy investment as well for GDF to have to get that out as early, so it's going to affect his eco just as much as his own. Although it is intel, and it does come back. Got a bureau popping out for Raven as well. And we got a data core coming out for Trauma. So he's got his intel through to a higher tech area as well. And he has got the riot pod up as well, which is going to be a pretty good counter against this bureau if he does decide to do some specialists, whether they're machinists, operatives, or line officers.
I was about to say Raven must attack right now. If not the main base, just the expansion.
Yep, he went for operatives, so it seems like he wants to play macro then.
Has popped out to call the guard. Oh, finding a quick riot van kill there coming up the hill. We're sitting on 8 rigs, 5 harvesters, so can go a little bit longer. Economy is starting to turn it into one of those maps which it can build up a little bit longer.
Seems Trauma feels pressure here. I think we should rather expand than attack at this.
May get a right stun here, which will help. Field Infirmary is helping a lot keep a few things up and about. He might be able to pick off a few of these troops on retreat. Just let them recharge their EMP gun. Sorry, their Mauler weapon again and get a little bit more damage done. Making Raven at least consider not going all in on him just yet, even with the operative lead of and a population of 64 to 26.
he's floating money. I'd build Timber's artillery.
Oh yeah, you spent some of that money up into defensive building slot at least. So if he's still producing refineries, air pads, and things as well on his expansion down on the right hand side.
Are those Havocs in the north by Raven?
Havoc's going around for a
Yes.
sweep.
Yep.
What's he going to find?
Poor Harvester.
TraumaTized has popped down some turrets around his data core, but Raven might be able to find at least one harvester and a refinery in tow. I'm not sure that van's going to be able to do too much against him either. Is bringing back the forces to try and cut off. So he may not be doing the field artillery, but he is doing the laser turrets in spots that do hurt his tech and protecting those.
I believe those are like for the matchsticks. He's trying to. Oh, he's accidentally clicking on never mind. I believe those lasers are to protect from matchstick snipes.
Yeah, they hit the Havocs as well, so he has ran into a few Havoc tech snipes as well, so protecting a bit of the flanks from the split attacks. Although
He's gonna go with green model.
it's going to be the same sort of outcome. The more this intel starts just overflowing and looping, it's going to be a much more harder uphill battle for Raven to stay in.
To dive.
Raven is on 5 fields now. He's
That crane's gonna get shut down immediately. Yeah. The 8 didn't evacuate them either.
Yeah, small victory. Another call the guard pop, so a lot of this population is a lot of infantry. Looks like Raven has found a little opening if he can get up into this expansion base while TraumaTized's troops are just sort of in the middle of the bridge. Might be able to catch him out of place, especially now they're actually moving to the other side as well.
If I was Raven, I'd go to base. Yep.
Yeah, no map control, just out of position. He's gonna get the MCV.
Oh, he didn't get the repair bay up either.
Oh, heartbreaking.
It was pretty close. It was like 90% done, and then the MCV went down, and so did all the things that we're building. You notice the balls get a little bit more deleted with a little bit of... Oh, that was a great roll, so... Great roll. Oh, and GG called by Trauma. Raven taking that game and the series 4-2. I guess that was a bit of a tougher map for TraumaTized, being on Road to Ruin. Probably doesn't do a lot of it, but I think his early game, he was on point to defend that, that early pillages and rockets kind of not all in, but, sort of really aggressive start. He prepared for it, held it off, and at least got it to a bit more of a macro game. Just that MCV snipe without that repair cave coming up sealed the deal for Ravenhelm. Anyway, hope everybody enjoyed watching that series. 4 games to Raven, 2 to Trauma. And hope you enjoyed probably one of the last cast on this current patch before the new patch comes in a few days. And we get to see some new units reign supreme. We'll see how we go. Thank you to Marz, Yeet, and anyone else that contributed to the hosting and casting, giving us some inputs and things I probably would have missed. So thank you fellas for that. And we'll see you guys on the next one. GG's and fuck you, Goldman.